All right, G, let's go. We got a very important thing to talk about tonight. We're gonna hit up the gym. Nothing left in that. And that is that taking the safe option is actually the riskiest option nowadays. And no one talks about this nearly enough. And this is something that so many of us boys, we're starting to really lose our place in society. And that is because we're not taking enough risks. And with no risks, there's no resilience built, there's no character built, there's no oomph in your step. And that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to go to a different gym, because I just feel like going to a different gym tonight. So it's a bit far, and I got to take the highway. So I have to really concentrate. And it's pretty early. It's 8:30 at night, which is like, I only woke up. I'm nocturnal, bro, so I only woke up like 4 or 5 hours ago. And I've just been doing a bunch of stuff, but yes, let's get into it. So, you know, a big thing in our society, bro, is that, you know, we as men, we're losing the right to call ourselves men. And you could probably think, well, how is that true? I got a dick, I got balls, I got testosterone. Truth is, so many of us are losing our right to call ourselves men because we're following the herd. We're following the herd of society and what society wants us to be, which is docile, weak, men that don't speak up, men that don't take action, men who are addicted to jerking it, men who are addicted to just bad vices, wasting time, sitting there crying in your feelings, too emotional. And this is complete rubbish, especially as we get older and deeper into this generation and into this time and into this modern world. Men who don't build themselves up are men who will be forgotten. Men who don't build themselves up and take risks will live the life that most people pity. And that's scary, because so many of us don't realize, and we are living like we're going to be born again. And a lot of people, like, I'm a Christian, right? I'm religious, so, you know, I believe in the afterlife. Can't wait to get to heaven. But we think that we're coming back here on earth again. And that's just not the case. Like, we ain't coming back. And we're all losing our own self-respect and dignity by not taking risks. So I'm going to say something, and you can take this from me, bro. I mean, a lot of you boys know I live at home with my mum. I'm turning 27 in like 3 months time, 2 months time, and so like that's crazy. 27 years old, living with my mum. I still work a job 3 days a week, like plugged into the matrix hard. And I've lived, you know, a pretty, I've lived I hate to call it shit, but it's always been quite shit, man. Like, growing up in government housing, 21 years I lived in there. So we only got out like 5-6 years ago. I lived out of home for 4 years with my ex-girlfriend, and we lived together for like 3 years. I bought my own investment property. I bought this sports car when I was 22, just working. But that safe option of working 70-hour weeks, 60-hour weeks, working 2 jobs, going to university, because I went to university for a couple of years before I left, because I thought, what's this? That safe option is essentially giving you a life that you're not ever going to really be proud of. No one's proud of themselves anymore, especially as men, because they got a degree, or because they're making $80,000 a year, or 90, or 100. And it sounds crazy because you're probably thinking, well, 80, 90, $100,000 is a lot of money. And I'm only 26, so I could tell you that I don't even make anywhere close to that. And I'm disgusted by that. But what I do have is my own time to hustle, do my own thing, rather than be completely plugged in. Because when you get a degree, or when you go live a life of conformity, which means that you just go follow the herd, you walk around with your tail tucked between your legs, that life of working 60, 70, 80-hour weeks or conforming gives you the most average, not even average, gives you a life so low on the totem pole, life isn't always worth living. Because when you're always struggling for bills, right? to make rent, or to pay your bills, or you haven't built that oomph inside of you from taking risks or doing what it is that you know that you should be doing, the life that you live is horrible. You have a wife or girlfriend that doesn't respect you, more than likely will cheat on you. You'll be driving a car that you don't want to drive. You'll, most importantly, not have self-respect for yourself, and you'll be like, I wish I tried harder. As you got older and older and older, you'd say to yourself, I wish I ran through my anxiety or my fear, because, you know, the life that you are living is shit. So taking the safe option, which is, you know, walking around with your tail tucked between your legs, following the herd, or following what you know will be the safest option for you because there's less risk or there's less you know, drama or stress, will give you a life that you don't want to live. So I actually say this, and this is huge, taking the safe option is now the most riskiest option. So what I just told you, right, is I work and I'm plugged into the matrix 3 days a week. I work a total of 20 hours and I make minimum wage in here in Australia. So what I have got from that though is the rest of my time to live the life that I want to live and build. And I'll say this, as someone who has a nice car, and I want a nicer car, way nicer. I got one investment property which has made me a lot of money, which is, it's obviously still in the building because I haven't sold it. I much rather, and I say this to you as someone that's gone the opposite route, right, of working 60, 70, 80-hour weeks, I would much rather, and I'm telling you this, the utmost truth, bro, I much rather live a life hustling or completely dirt poor, living with my mum, than ever plugging myself back into the system and working 40, 50, 60 or 70-hour weeks, getting nowhere. I much rather work 100 hours, getting paid next to nothing, right? Because when you add all those hours up to the money I make from everything that I'm doing, you work that, it makes it less than minimum wage, but I'd much rather work on my craft, take a risk, and see what happens than plug myself in. Because I now know, being 26, 27 years old, there is no way to get ahead in this life working for another person or not taking genuine risks. Bro, I nearly swallowed my gum. But saying that, we're all faced with so many things inside of this system, right? And I will say this, and not a lot of people will. You need to look at everything that is causing you to be a weaker, lesser version of yourself, right? Whether it's anxiety, depression, whether you're just a wimp or a dork or a sissy. You got to look at everything, right? Social media, porn, you got to look at all these things, video games, your own self. You got to look at everything and be like, this is my enemy. This is the things that are stopping me. And most of you boys, if you're cerebral enough and you have like dignity for yourself, you should be able to identify what it is that's stopping you, right? Whether it's you don't have balls, you're too scared, whatever it is, and essentially say to yourself, nah, I'm not losing the one life that I got, the one spin that I have on this earth, and living a mediocre life. So I will say this, you need to take risks. You either need to start a business, you need to drop everything and go live overseas or do something or really shake up your life so that you're doing what you want to do. Not what this world, your parents, or the safe option will herd you down. Because if you have any respect for yourself, you'll respect yourself so much more in the muck and the mire, trying to build something, than sitting at a desk all day, clocking in, being told when you can't eat or take a piss or any of that. And if you're scared of anything in your life, I'll tell you this one truth, and you need to understand this. You need to understand that there is nothing in this life more important than giving it your best go. There's really nothing, bro. Like, I will be that guy, dirt poor, hustling, doing my own thing. or I'm gonna be completely rich from what I'm doing now to get me there, but I will never ever be in the middle. So I'm either going to be a 1% at the totem pole, like of the totem pole, broke, hustling, going after it, taking risks, not caring, not giving a shit, and just running through life, or I'm gonna be at the other end of the totem pole, another 1%er, right? But making X amount of money, but making so much money, living life on my own terms. So I'm gonna be living the same life. I'm either gonna be extremely dirt poor, or I'm gonna be extremely rich, which will be through my hustle, my ambition to get me there. But living in the middle is nonsense. It's nonsense, bro. So it's extremely important that you understand this, man. I think in life, the only way to take risks, and if you're really, wanting to make a change in your life now, you need to identify what it is that scares you. And I say this, and it's the most easiest way to do it, is you need to run straight towards the fear, the friction, the pain, because that's where you'll grow. You need to have the tenacity and your own self-respect inside you to be like, okay, I am gonna run towards my fear. I'm gonna drop everything, try start a business, try hustle. I'm gonna approach that 10 out of 10 girl. I'm gonna make the moves that I've been scared to make. I'm gonna make the moves despite people might judging me. They might judge me. I'm gonna make the moves despite what my family thinks. I'm going to do what I am going to do. And when you can get into this frame that no one can tell you what to do in life, and you're running towards fear, how you feel about yourself is unmatched. It's incredible. I honestly believe how I feel about myself, my confidence, my self-esteem, and people can call this egotism or having a big ego. I don't care. I feel great, more or less, because I'm living life the way that I want to live it, and I'm not where I want to be. But I'm so proud of myself for living the way that I want to live, hustling. I wouldn't say I'm by no means rich unless I sold my property and cashed in on that money, but I am so happy that I am doing what I want to do and trying to get out, while so many people are trying to plug themselves in, and I need to find a job, I need a job 6 days a week, I want to work for minimum wage. None of that, bro. Take risks, do everything, and I've taken many a risk, bro. Like I shaked up my whole life a year and a half ago to move to a place I never ever lived before. I bought that investment property. I moved out of home. I taken so many risks, and have they paid off? Sure. Have some risks that I've taken haven't paid off? Sure, absolutely. But it's part of the game. And for the risks that I did take that didn't pay off, I became stronger. So I still won. So there's lessons in the risk not working out. There's character formation in the time that when you take a risk and it doesn't pan out. So you're going to win life if you take a cerebral action for your own life and think, okay, I am going to take risks, because taking risks is more than likely now the safe option, which is crazy, right? So everyone thinks the safe option is, oh, no, I need to stay in my lane, I need to do what everyone else is doing, I don't need to take risks, I need to listen to my emotions. That's the safe option. Nah, the safe option now is taking risks and living your life on your own terms. That's what's fucking crazy. That's what it is, bro. Alright, bro, we've got a little while to get to the gym, but I'm going to end it here and we're going to go run, go for a run, sprint, and then I'm going to start up and we're going to train. So let's go, bro. Let's go, bros. Alright, bro, so it's 9:28, and like I said to you boys in the car, we're going to film a full body workout. Now, just on 10 minutes, 3 kilometers, and we're going to smash this out now. I'm going to show you boys all what I do. So we're going to superset this. I'm just going to wrap it out. That was alright. And then we're gonna always superset it like I told you. So I think the biggest thing, from what I was telling you boys in the car, is the missed opportunity that you'll get when you don't take risks. I mean, if you think about our parents, majority of them didn't take risks. When you think about everyone that you know, no one's taking risks. But when you think about the most successful people, all of them, they all took so many risks. All of them. Their whole life was just risk after risk after risk after risk, and they all failed. So that's the common trait amongst all of them. Risks, risks, risks. And if you're thinking that you can take your life and have it be risk-free, then you're just fooling yourself. Nothing, man. No money comes risk-free. No top quality girl comes risk-free. No nice life, no freedom, no peace even comes risk-free without sacrificing stuff. So you always have to remember that, man. Always, always. Look. Bro, I'm already cooked. But to continue what I was saying in the car, I think the most important thing is when you're trying to figure yourself out as well, right? I coach a lot of boys, and so many of them, including myself when I was younger, purposeless. Nothing inside of your gas tank to go after what it is that you want. Well, how you start to build your character, how you start to build everything up about yourself, it's through taking those risks, right? The way to build a sword is to bury it and put it through the fire and then chisel at it. Well, the same way that you build yourself and you live a life actually worth living, it's when you take those risks. With everything that I've done, the most character building things in my life were the risks that I took. And I've taken so many risks that were actually, bro, horrible things that ruined me, but I learned. And that's how I was able to continue to build myself up. And the only way that I'm going to continue to build myself up when I'm 27, when I'm 28, when I'm 29, when I'm 30, is more risk, more risk, more risk. And the more risks you take, the more rewards you get. And it just goes in that same cycle. You want to feel confident, you want to build your self-esteem, you want to build anything about yourself. Take those risks and break free from the fucking average life that everyone else lives. I mean it. Oh. So this is almost going to offend every single one of you that doesn't have, you know, that risk-taking action behind them. And that is that your mindset as well and your frame as a man, it's broken. And mine was broken for 20, 21 years of my life. So I know it intimately what it feels like to just not want to take risks or be so buckled by your anxiety or fear. But the truth is, and I've said this in almost every video I filmed, in my book that I'm writing as well, that is that all of us have an inclination inside of us to want to be something more than what we are. That's why when we play video games, or even when, I'm saying this, when you watch porn, when you watch movies, all of those things, you're always watching the best, right? You're always watching the supermodels, or you're always trying to build your character up to the, you know, the best, you know, get all the trophies, get everything. But the thing is, all those videos we watch, games we play, all the scrolling that we do, we are looking at people that we want to emulate, or people that we want to be like, or even like, bro, when you're joking, when you're watching the girls that you want to be with. So there's a genuine desire in you for more, but it's just brought upon those limiting beliefs that so many of us have inside. But I said this in the car, you need to make sure that the only thing that you need to be doing is that friction, that pain. You need to run towards it. Like, that's the only way. And the more wins and the more friction your life becomes, you'll be going closer and getting closer to where it is that you want your life to go. But if there's no friction, if there's no pain, you're always going to be in that loop, that cycle of staying the same, being like everyone else. So you need to really remember that, like, it's already inside you. This world has dimmed it down, but you have the choice to genuinely make it whatever you want it to be, your life. But it's up to you. It ain't up to me. It ain't up to that person. It ain't up to anyone else. It's up to you. You need to always remember that. The worst life a man could live is a life with no risk. And you get to choose all the risks that you take. It's all up to you. So remember that. Oof. All right, let's knock out some legs. Oops. That was 25, but we're going to superset that with hamstring curls. So we're going to knock this back. How's that looking? Oh, nice. Oh, that was good. So another thing that I believe so many of us guys, we lose when we don't take those risks, and that's the respect. And that's respect from not only yourself, but respect from other men. It's respect from your family, and it's the lack of respect for your ancestors and even for your legacy. Like, I truly do believe that so many of us, if we were just to really remember where our lives have stemmed from, right? And what we owe, not only to our family, but to our children, and also to our ancestors. It's the respect that we must show to them, our future children, and to ourselves, that we have what it takes, that we appreciate all the sacrifices that have been made in the past, and the sacrifices that we will now make because we have been sacrificed for, and the sacrifices we will make for our legacy. Everything is dependent on those fears. And I'll say this because I know it so well, bro. Everything in life circles back to if you're running towards fear or if you're not. Pussyfooting, being a sissy, being weak is unacceptable. It's unacceptable for yourself. It's unacceptable for your bloodline. It's unacceptable for everything and everyone that has done something for you to be here. So you need to prove it to yourself. You need to have some fucking self-respect for you and do what it is that you know that needs to be done. Stack up those wins every day of doing something hard. It's saying hello to some random person. It's sitting down and doing work. If it's training, if it's whatever, you need to genuinely get up, get going, get with the program and get moving. Because otherwise, what are you gonna do? You're gonna sit and wait for someone to come and coddle you. You're a young man and you want someone to coddle you like a child. All right, bro, we're gonna finish up now. Last set. Wait. All right, bro, that's it. I think the last thing I want to leave you with is the beauty of being a man taking risks is that you get left with scars. And there's a reason why men who have the most scars, right? And these are internal scars, this could even be physical scars. They are the men that will have the lives that we want, right? Because they're the men that can tolerate. They're the men that don't conform. They're the men that women love because it makes a man. You see, taking risks and truly pushing forward, doing what it is that you know is the right thing for your life and getting outside of the comfort zone, that's what's going to build you. That's what's going to make you. And if you want to live your life to the fullest, it's through taking risks. And like I said inside, you can take little risks at the start and build that momentum. But if you're pushing forward, if you're really wanting to escape and live your life the way that you want to live it, then you need to run forward and go, you know, with the spirit of a warrior and take what it is that you want. You get one life, so who cares? Who gives a shit what, you know, people might say? Who gives a shit what, you know, society wants you to do? Like, come on, you got to get a grip. I don't think that there's any man out here who isn't pushing forward, who isn't relentlessly going after what he wants, that doesn't get there. If you don't get to your dream life, it just means that you didn't want it bad enough. If you're willing to go through the mire, go through the muck, day after day, it might take you 10 years, it could take you 1 year, it could take you 15 years, and anywhere in between. You'll get there eventually if you genuinely go after it. Because how do you stop a man who puts everything on the line to get what he wants? If you're truly about it, bro, you want that money, you want that freedom, you want that life, then you can have it. You can. No one's stopping you but yourself. There gets a point, bro, where you have to let everything go. Let what society wants you to do, let what your parents want you to do, let your own feelings go so that you can go out and get what you want. Because I know in your heart, and I say this a lot, I know in your heart, bro, you want more. You've just been too much of a bitch. Well, no more, bro. Look, if you want to do coaching with me, or you want to join a group of young men on self-improvement, go to the link in the description. I love you, bro. Good night, good morning, wherever you're from. And remember, the riskiest option nowadays for us men is taking the safe option. I really mean that. Anyway, bro, love ya.